Okay, let's get started. Hi, I'm Bill, and if this is the first time dropping into the channel, welcome. The purpose of this video is to share with you some stats on what I'm seeing as far as guiding error with my new EQ6-R Pro mount. I decided to set it up tonight in the backyard and put some load on it. I want to, first few weeks I want to exercise it, so if there's any issues, they're identified, and then I can quickly, get it serviced or something. I'm hoping those don't happen, but I need to run it in order to do that. So I'm using the Pinwheel Galaxy M101 tonight as a target. I did a couple things tonight before we get into the guiding stats. I used the optimal exposure calculator. I don't know if you saw my video where I showed how to do a sensor analysis using SharpCap Pro. The exposure calculator plugin for Nina can pull information from the files, the sensor analysis files that SharpCap Pro produces. And tonight I used it, and I'm in a heavily light polluted area, and it told me my recommended exposure time was 15.35 seconds. So I set up an imaging sequence with that, and at 15.53 seconds we're not seeing much. I know there's something there, but I don't have enough data points yet. When I go down to GMARS in the Bortle 4 area, it'll be interesting to see what the image calculator says. I'm using the ASI 533MC Pro with just a straight luminous filter to cut IR and UV. So what will be the exposure recommendation when I get under Bortle 4 skies? And then when I'm under Bortle 1 skies in the end of June, what will the exposure recommendation be there? And then I'll start to collect enough data points to make some conclusions about this exposure calculator. And I still may use the smart histogram that's part of SharpCap Pro as well to see what it recommends as a exposure time. So a lot of more work I'm going to be doing, and I'll share that information with you. But the main thing tonight is guiding. And if we look down here in the RMS error area there, those numbers look pretty favorable to me. And let's look at what Nina says. Hopefully you can pick this line up here, but I have it in well, if I switch it to pixels, it reads that. If I use arc seconds, which I think is the better metric to use, we're looking at 0.12 on RA, 0.13 on deck, and total of 0.17. Now it's not very windy tonight, so seeing is, not necessarily good here, but the winds makes it even worse. So, again, it's early, too early to tell, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, and I'm going to do some A/B testing in a sense. I'll pick a night where I have my Zenithstar on the EQ6-R mount, see what that guiding error looks like, and then I'll put the telescope on my HEQ5 and see what the guiding error looks like there, and see if I can draw any conclusions. Now, I had an expectation that the newer mount, being belt driven, even though you can have backlash in belt driven mounts, I had an expectation the backlash would be less, And if we go into the information, so we go into here, guiding assistant, we're going to stop it, and we're going to, cancel. And we look at the backlash graph for the first calibration that I did. Doesn't look too bad. So that's saying that there is backlash there, and maybe I can take some of that out. So again, I'll look to improve upon what it's delivering right now, right out of the box, down the road a bit when I get some time on the mount. And then when we look at the review the calibration data, this is what the what it looks like. And again, I want to be able to dig in this year to this data so I understand what it's telling me. But in the last guiding assistant run that I did earlier tonight, it was telling me I have a 9.4 arc minute polar alignment error. So really don't know. A lot of information to kind of digest, and over this year I'll sort through a lot of that, and I'll share what conclusions I think I've come to as a beginner in year 2. So, but I'm liking these error statistics, and I also want to find out where the log files are for this plugin, if there are log files, because I'd like to document. I was under degrees, minutes, seconds. I was under 1 minute total error when I said, okay, it's good enough. So I want to find out where that information may be located. All right, that's about it. This was just going to be a quick video to share with you how this mount is performing so far. It's heavy, I'll tell you that. It's kind of a beast compared to the HEQ5. I can easily pick up the HEQ5 with the head on the tripod and move it around. Not so easy to do with the EQ6-R, but that's okay. I'll take a little bit of weight if it's going to provide improved guiding. The other thing is I did have in this profile, I don't know if I pointed it out, but I do have the debayer image option on and the unlinked stretch on, so that's happening as part of the profile now for the ASI 533 MC Pro camera. And I also have set the proper gain of 100 and an offset of 50, and I would imagine in time I'll probably tweak the gain. The sensor analysis data, if I understood how to read it, is probably giving me information on what gain setting I could also use besides the default of 100. So, but again, this is all part of what I hope to learn this year, and I'll share what I learned. Alright, let's just go back to the, again, my error line looks good. I'm happy to see that. And hopefully over time it continues to perform in a similar manner. And yeah, I'm glad I took the time tonight. clouds won't come in and for a few more hours. But I really did not expect to get an image out of this. I really just needed a target that I could use to guide. And it's serving its purpose. And so far so good. Alright, so I will probably do similar videos like this from time to time when I'm out in the field and share some of the screens. But in particular tonight, I just wanted to share what's happening with the mount as far as guiding error. And so far so good, but you know, it's night one. So, and a lot can happen transporting the mount around in my van, bumpy roads, you know. I don't know what your experiences are moving your equipment around if you do that, and does it induce additional error? Does it loosen up the belts? So there's a lot that I'm going to learn, you know, in the process. And then I'm really looking forward to going into the HEQ5 and seeing what I can do to maybe tweak some of the backlash out. Are there some adjustments that I can make? I think there's a Rowan belt modification for the HEQ5. The fact that I have this second mount now opens up a lot of opportunity to do some things with the HEQ5 to maybe modify it a bit and get its guiding error down. So, alright, that's about it. If you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, clear skies. Till next time.